Hey everybody, welcome back to the chaotic little book corner. My name is Acacia. We are going to be doing the Honest Booktuber Tag today. It was created by Harriet Rosie, and I was tagged by her in the original. So, this is like matte lipstick and it's transferring. I'm very upset about it. I have orange soda because I've already had my coffee for the day. And don't really have any tea I like at the moment. Everything else just sort of seemed like a bad idea for a liquid. Water would have been an option, but apparently I don't know how to do that today. Alright, so this is quite an interesting one. I'm very aware why Harriet was nervous about posting this, and I am on the same page. I am definitely more in the nervous category. I don't think there's anything groundbreaking that's going to come out of this, and there's not a lot of like drama or tea to spill, but there's still some things that feel a little bit intense. Alright, so the Honest Booktuber Tag. Let's start with question 1. Have you ever lied about reading a book? Yes. Not to you guys, but as a child, I had, well, I still do, severe dyslexia. And so I didn't learn to read till I think 3rd grade. I've talked about this before. And so what I would do is I would get picture books and chapter books, and I would make up the story and then tell my mom I read it, and I would tell these elaborate stories about what the book was about, and she'd be like, that's not the book, and I'd be like, yes it is. That is exactly what that is. I've also done the read it in school, didn't actually read it conversation. I think I did that with, what did I do that with? Beowulf. And there was a Shakespeare one I did it with too. Midsummer's Night Dream. I'd seen the movie, so I figured I knew it. That was pretty cheesy of me. Have you avoided a book due to controversy around content or author? Yes, I have. I'm not going to name names of authors. I will say that The Woman in the Window by, is it A.J. Finn or something? I read that prior to his controversy, and now I won't read any of his books ever again. In fact, I've lent that book to my father, who is a known book destroyer, so I expect to not get it back or to get it back in terrible condition. Either way, I'm fine with it. Usually I don't let books be sacrificed to him, but in this case, I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I've had never content. Content doesn't really scare me. I don't think I've ever found myself. That's not true. I sometimes tend to avoid gun conversations on content just because I know there's a lot of controversy around gun control, and I have opinions on it that I know don't agree with everybody. I think most of my channel would agree with them, but I know that haters still can find the channel and get really nasty, so I just avoid going too deep with it. But definitely some authors I've skipped due to controversy. Have you ever sent a book for a... have you ever been sent a book for free and not disclosed it? No. I've received books as gifts and not disclosed it, but I've never been sent a book by a publisher and not disclosed it, because the publisher sent it to me and they're sending it to me to be reviewed, and part of the review is to tell people that you were sent it for review. I I just feel like that's part of it. I've had publishers that didn't email me back to tell me that they were sending me the book, so it showed up randomly and it was a surprise. And when that happens, I still mention that the book was sent to me for review, but I don't get to it as quickly because I don't have anyone to send my review to, so I don't rush it. I have a couple of books that were sent to me for review that I haven't reviewed yet, that were sent to me by publishers without any email, so I don't know who to tell that I've read it or what to do about it, and I just assume that they want me to read it and talk about it, but like, I don't know when they want me to read it by, or how much they want me to say about it, or do they want a single review for it? I have no idea. So, there's definitely a couple of them that I have that issue with. And then there's a couple of books that I've been sent for review that I haven't gotten around to because I just haven't. And that sort of bums me out, but it still happens and it's fine. I don't ever give a read by date unless I'm requested to. I've only had two publishers tell me they would like to see a book reviewed closer to release day. Other than that, I just get whenever you can. So, my latest review was The Farm. I'll link that up in the channel cards. So I talked about that. But again, that was one of the ones where I wasn't sent an email, so I don't know who to send that review to. Have you ever bought a book with no intent to read it? Yes, I have. So there's the basic, I've bought special editions with no intention of reading them. So there's that. I have a special edition of Soulless, which I will never read. And I have about 20 editions of Alice in Wonderland, and I've probably only read 2 of them. And I have maybe 5 editions of Jane Eyre, and I've only read 2 of them. But as far as books I've bought with no intention of reading, I am guilty of that. I think I've done that a couple of times because I got sucked into the excitement of it, and I thought it sounded good, or when I first started BookTube, I would go through almost every book that Mercedes and Jen and Jean would talk about and just order them all. This is before I had my channel. And it didn't matter if I wanted to read it or not. I just had it. And so I've unhauled many a book from that pile. Many a book. That one's been less than lucrative. Have you ever been caught up in BookTube drama? Yeah. Yeah, I have. I'm not going to get into specifics, but somebody attacked female readers specifically. And I voiced my opinion on that. I think that's about the extent of it. I really try and stay out of, like, things about channels being, you know, not good, or people not doing spawned videos, or things like that. Like, I've tried to stay out of that. But when I felt my gender being attacked, I spoke up. I think that was the only time I did it. Have you ever had a hate comment and did you respond? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. I have gotten some nasty comments. Even more so before I started wearing makeup. I actually started wearing makeup because I was tired of the comments. I got a lot of slack for not looking put together, and people would get nasty. So I actually made a response video to that. I've gotten slack for how I spend my money on books. I've gotten slack for reviewing a book on Charles Manson. I had to block someone for that one because that was getting scary. I've gotten some pretty nasty comments, and I've responded to a fair amount of them. The Charles Manson one I did not respond to because that got creepy real quick. But yeah, I've responded to a fair amount of really mean hate comments, and I know I shouldn't. I do. I know that, but I do anyway. Have you ever made a video for views? I mean, I make all videos for views, but like, have I ever clickbaited? No. No, I don't think so. I think the Q&A I did on DID would be the closest thing to clickbait. But even that, it wasn't about views. It was about answering questions that my viewers had. It's my most successful video, but there was never any intent behind it to make it some big thing. It was just to answer questions because I would get questions, so I just wanted to get it done. If you could go back to the beginning of your channel, would you do anything different? I think I would try and buy more books that were my choice rather than hype. I think I would try and avoid the hype as much as I have. I haven't. Because I've gotten better at it in the last 6 months or so. But I still buy books based on the hype. But not as much. And I don't go into it with the assumption that I'm going to love it anymore. In fact, I usually go in with the assumption I'm going to be disappointed. And then I just like it, so it's fine. But like, I have Tin Man. And I haven't read that yet. I read Normal People recently, and you guys know how I feel about that. But I would try and buy more books that were my books rather than hyped books. That would be my big change. Any channels you wish you were more like? Yeah. Mercedes is probably the first one that comes to mind. I'll link her channel up in the cards. Not just because of the views and the subscribers. That would be wonderful, especially because I want to make this something more career-based, but I just really admire how she does her videos and how she puts them together and how they're edited, and how they look. They're very clean, they're very organized, and she's very eloquent, and she really knows how to talk about things in a way that makes it interesting, and I don't think I've gotten all the way there yet. I am planning to move my bookshelves from this room into the room behind me, and that should cover this window here so that I don't have the glare from the window here, and I don't have the microwave back there. So I keep trying to up my game a little bit. It's hard, but it's an attempt. So Mercedes channel, I'd really like to be more like. I don't think I'd post without a schedule, though. I like the schedule. Yeah. What's something you love about your channel? I love my subscribers. I really do. I have really supportive people in my life. I have really supportive subscribers. And I tend to love the books that I bring onto this channel. And I tend to also love the fact that I talk about mental health pretty openly. I tend to really like that. I don't think I would do it if I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I tend to do that, and I feel pretty good about it. So yeah, I think that's everything. So those are all the questions. I have linked Harriet's channel at the beginning. Who do I want to tag? I'm actually just going to tag anyone who wants to do this video, because I think that everyone who would want to do this tag has been tagged already, or they're just not people who watch my channel regularly. So I'm going to just say, if you want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged. So I would be happy to see anybody else's video on this. Thank you so much for watching. If you are a Patreon of mine, thank you so much. I love you immensely. If you would like to support me on Patreon, I will link it down in the doobly-doo. I will talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.